Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bae, the #1 source for competitive Legends of Runeterra news and information. If you're looking for the best decks to play right now, be sure to check us out on Twitter at Master Runeterra or in our Discord. And if you want to take the next step in leveling up your game, check out our Runeterra team on Patreon, where we do weekly learning calls and one-on-one coaching. Now strap in and grab yourself some Poro snacks, because we are about to start Mastering Runeterra.
Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Bae. We got a great show for you today. Before we jump into everything, though, we have to thank all of our subscribers, all of our patrons, everyone that supports us. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't done so already, you can go over to our website, make a free account, get all of your stats, all of your matchup statistics, all of your your match history. That was what I was looking for. It's a free account, and then you can also upgrade it to get all of our awesome premium stuff, which I won't bother getting into now. Okay, so Seasonals week. This is it.
Yeah, and 3 days after this goes live? 2 days?
Not even. Yeah, it's probably go live.
Small amount of days?
Very few days. Seasonals was like, okay, it's far, but it's close. And then it's like, it's close, it's coming, it's far, it's close. And then it's like here. And I haven't played like a ton since the patch, but a lot pre-patch. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I do not have a lot of time. I feel like probably a lot of people are feeling the crunch. It's like 10 days from patch to seasonals is kind of nuts. And before we get into all we're gonna talk about lineups and like the meta and stuff. But real quick, I want to touch on, they just made the Worlds announcement also.
Yeah.
Which it's basically the same as last year. With the structure and everything, the prize pool. Real interesting
Qualifiers into groups, into finals, yeah.
Which I think is cool. Super excited
Love
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
What do you think, for anyone that doesn't know, this year they're changing things up and they're making it so that Worlds is going to be played with like brand new cards. I don't know if I think the cards come out after Worlds. I think that's how it works, right? To the general public.
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that no one gets to play the cards except Worlds competitors until Worlds finals, which is like the 16 people or whatever. So it goes something like Worlds patch 2 weeks before Worlds qualifiers, which is where like the 64 in each region play to make make it into the group of top 16, right?
Yeah, that's in November.
Yeah. And then so we have like a Worlds balance patch 2 weeks before that. And then after that, the 16 players will be given access to a private server where they can play with the new cards. Like a week or 2 weeks before top 16. And so people are going to be seeing
did they say how far before it was?
Yeah, I just can't remember. I think it's a week or 2 weeks. Probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're going to play on the new set, which I think so people are really upset about this. I'm so excited. I think that's so cool. Like as a player, I think that's awesome. Right? It's really going to test your your deck building skills, of which I have none. It's going to test your ability to find out what's good in a format quickly. And then it's just going to be interesting. As a player, that's really cool. As a spectator, that's even cooler. I would have loved that if they did it like Magic or something, right? Way back in the day. I'm thinking, because I used to watch all the Magic Pro Tours. And I'm thinking way back in the day, they'd have spoilers and then the set would come out. And then a couple weeks later was the Pro Tour. And that was the coolest thing. I would watch the Pro Tour because I wanted to see what was good, what was coming up, which cards weren't very good, what strategies were powerful. I thought that was super interesting.
To be fair, I actually played in Pro Tour London and the set came out that weekend or the weekend after. So we drafted with a set that hadn't been released yet. And they gave us product early to be able to draft with. And then we didn't know that if they were going to do that. They kind of announced that late. We made our own proxies and made our own packs to
so you could fake
shuffle
draft
up
it, yeah.
and we could fake draft them. which is pretty cool. This
Yeah.
though, I think is definitely on another level. Like, how cool is that? Like, it's gonna be like new cards. Yeah,
People are like, oh my god, but like, I want to need time to prepare. It's like, yeah, neither will anyone else. That's like the fun part, right? Like, I don't want to see you play the same stale meta. I don't give a shit. I want to see new stuff. I want to see cool things. And then yeah, being a part of that would be like awesome too. I'd love to make top 16 in Worlds again, just so I can be on that like cutting edge and play with the best. And I think it's sick. I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. We also forgot to mention, like, you get to invite a +1 to this private server, because, like, who are you gonna play with and test with? Like, your competitors. Like, hey, bro, I think I broke it. You want to play some games?
That will be the case. I mean, there will be like, let's say me and What Am I and Aikedo make it again, right? Then like we will work together, And maybe people are worried about that. Maybe people are like, oh my god, I don't have like, people that I test with and stuff. Then I don't have an advantage. This is bullshit. But like, if you don't have people to test with, then you're at a disadvantage always. Like that hasn't changed.
No, this is totally different though, because like you could have played on the ladder.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't like scrim with people, so that's true.
So it's like imagine you're my +1, and I'm like, hey man, like, oh, I was working all day, and like now I can play some games. You free? And you're like, oh no, like I'm streaming, and then I gotta make YouTube videos. Like we'll get like an hour in tonight. Like okay, like I'm just like chilling. I can't play games until like my +1 is free. So
I imagine people will be playing in the 16.
Oh, you think you'd actually go play against like the other? Like, I wouldn't. No way, man. I'm getting like whoever the frick has
just
like
pick
a week.
That guy's plays 6 million games.
Here you go. Yeah,
that guy never stops playing. Yeah. He'll be
I'm
on more than you.
Who, right? Just waiting. Like, where you been, man? We try to jam games.
Yeah.
Get in here. But the other thing that people also brought up though was like, imagine, okay, so and you're my +1, but like now we're like in a Discord call and everyone can chat and talk about, like, we're sharing our screen and everyone can chat and talk about like the rest of our team, can help prepare because we're chatting things through and like, and so there are some like competitive advantage, like,
of course,
things, and it's like, is that going to be allowed? I assume not.
Probably
but can
not.
you stop that? You obviously can't.
No.
There's no way to stop that. And that gives you a huge advantage, right? The difference between you and me preparing and like, I don't know, all of Team Hydra or something, not to single them out, but like, just a really good team or a team is like night and day. It's like not even close, Yeah. So I get what people are saying. It's definitely, I think the pros outweigh the cons by a lot. I think this is going to be a spectacle, right?
That's the thing.
Thing. Like, you're going to have to tune in and see this.
I was talking to someone, I can't remember who, but like people were really upset. A couple people were really upset about how Worlds is going to be handled. And I was just like, I think just how sick it's going to be outweighs all the cons for me. Like, you got to think about it as just like, this isn't your livelihood, man. Like, even if it is, like, for me, Runeterra is my livelihood, but like winning Runeterra tournaments isn't how I make a living, right? That's not a thing.
I do want it to be fair, though, right? It's like,
there's only so fair you can make it.
Oh, I mean, come on, you can make it a lot more fair than this, though. This is very abusable. It's very abusable.
I mean, but last time we had not nearly to the same extent, right? But there was an emergency balance patch, and so the people with teams. There's an emergency balance patch, and the Worlds players got to play on a server with the balance patch earlier, something like that. And so people with teams had an advantage. That's just how it's always been. Card games have always secretly been a team game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, I mean, you get an edge by having a team for sure, but this is abusable. Like, now we're talking about there's like, you could be deciding the world champion based off of who cheats more. There's a big edge to be had here by cheating. If assuming that you're not supposed to,
that it is
share your screen. Yeah, we don't know what they'll end up doing. I assume that's what it is, but if you can't stop it, I don't know what they're gonna do. But like, it's a little messed up that it seems like, whoever cheats more kind of wins. Is not like exactly true, but like, gets a huge edge, a massive, massive, massive edge. And so I get it. I get it. I get where people are coming from. Again, though, I think if you just tweak it a little bit, like, I don't know, maybe just let you share your screen with your team or something. Like, you could share your screen in private. Please don't share, because they don't care about leaks that much. Leaks of the new cards, I don't think people care about too much.
I think,
or what if they just release the cards? Just release the card set to the public, right? Release the.
No, I think they'll be spoiled,
cards.
or at least most of them will be spoiled.
Yeah, because somebody brought it up, and then Ruben Zoo was like, "We don't really care too much about leaks." So I think that's what you do. You release the cards to the public, because then the public also knows what's going on in the game, right? Because you don't want someone playing a champion, shit explodes, and someone died, and you're like, what just happened? Yeah, so I think that's what you do. You spoil it, and then you just let the world's competitors do whatever they want on the server, and you let people go with their teams and whoever, because everyone can find a couple people, right? Like, everyone has people that they play with that has little teams, especially people that are making top 16 of Worlds.
Yeah,
and then it's kind of just fair, and that's fine. There's no problem.
I don't know. I'm just gonna see what they do, and I'm just gonna run with it. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I'm not incredibly worried about it. Maybe I should be more.
I'm not worried about it. I want the world champion to be deserving. You know, like, that person was the best. They played the best. They grinded the hardest. They figured stuff out.
Would have to, right? I mean, like, I really think there's only so much to be gained if you can't play. Like, we've often been like, you can have people in the call and they can be like weighing in or something, or maybe they can like build deck lists and ship them to you. But like, I think the number one way we'll see cheating is people account sharing the +1.
Yeah,
to make sure they're always jamming games, which is not allowed.
And or even your account. You know, you can be like, hey, I'm going to sleep.
You two play games, so I'm going to go to bed.
You two jam these games. Let us know.
Yeah, because I really think there's not that much to be gained if you can't play games. Like, just watching, whatever, it doesn't help that much. If you're having 4 more people like sit in and watch your games, I really don't think it helps that much. Like, I don't think they'll be able to contribute that much. It reminds me of when people were like, oh yeah, LPP members get to see some of the patch early sometimes. That's a competitive advantage. And it's like,
well, this is the thing. Again, imagine it's you and me testing, and they're like, hey, what am I? Ship us lists, watch us jam these, we'll tell you what happened, ship us more lists. Like,
well, I mean, like, if the
helps in the process, you know?
If the cards are public by that point anyway, then like that will already happen. Right?
That's true.
I will absolutely be on Twitter taking people's lists. Like, looking at people's brews and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. We don't have all the details. I'm just going to see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be super sick no matter what. So
yeah. Okay, now let's get to the really important stuff. You like that card back?
I do. I think it's very minimal. But the colors look good.
Too minimal. It looks like
it
reminds me of what are those what's that mobile game that's super like Boom Beach or like Clash of Clans? It reminds me of Clash of Clans. It looks like Clash of Clans logo.
You think it looks too cartoony?
Yeah, just like nothing special about
logo.
It. Nothing
it's cool.
Nothing. It's okay, I guess so. It's just not. It doesn't look special. I would prefer the fist bump or my like Misfortune arcade one all day.
I think it stands out.
You think it stands out?
That's what I like. I do.
So that's the difference. I don't think it stands out. I think people see that and be like, "Oh, you got a sword, cool."
I think it looks drastically different.
Did you get that like a starter pack somewhere or something?
Yeah, man, I did. I think it looks really cool. I like it more than the old ones.
Yeah, I don't like the old ones either.
Yeah.
Why not put Worlds 2022 on?
I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Isn't that where it's at?
Yeah,
isn't that where it's at? To be like, oh shit, this person played in Worlds. 16 people have those. Or
fair.
Did they give it to everyone?
No, 64 each server.
Okay, so like 190 or something. But still, that's very exclusive, very limited. It's from Worlds. I would have liked to see that.
Okay, I'm on board with that. Yeah.
Okay,
lineups.
I was joking. Let's get the lineups. Yeah. All right. So you go. What's the hotness?
Nami good.
Nami good. TF or with
Nami
Lee Sin?
Better with Lee. Nami is a tier 0 deck with either. It is tier 0 with Lee Sin. However, I think if you remove Nami from your matchup tables because you're banning it, and you should bring Nami and ban Nami. Like it's the best deck. If you remove Nami from your matchup tables, all of a sudden Akshan Lee becomes insane. The deck.
I was looking while you were grabbing some water. I was looking at the stats you were talking about for the deck, and I was like, "Oh shit, he was right." It's literally just like all these ones are good, and then over here it's like Nami, Lee, and like one or two other things. And that was it. Yeah,
Scouts.
Some decks that don't exist.
And so I am planning on playing. My main shell is going to be Nami TF, and then it's going to be Akshan Lee. And my third deck is just going to be the most powerful third deck I can find that I've been winning with, which is Fleurant Pantheon, which I've been absolutely crushing with. Because it also doesn't want to play into the Ionia decks, and I want to ban Nami. I don't think like that many people are going to be on like Nami and Akshan, and even if they are, I'm down to play into one of them, right? Like you got to beat one of mine, I got to beat one of yours. So that's going to be my lineup. It's just like it's basically boiled down to what's the strongest goddamn thing I can be doing. And I'm just going to play those.
So you bring up a good point though, hey? Because like a lot of people are not comfortable playing Nami, and definitely not Lee Sin, like Akshan type stuff. What are the like other popular lineups going to look like, do you think?
Not as good as mine.
Don't care.
I mean, we'll see
Swain,
like double Demacia
maybe?
stuff. We'll see some Swain. We'll see like Tarek Poppy plus like Fleurant Pantheon, or Tarek Poppy plus Scouts looking to like target Ionia or something. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. Maybe it will. But like if you're playing a counter lineup, you're trying to like get Ionia, and your best matchup is like 58%. That ain't it, man. Like that ain't it.
This seasonals feels really weird to me though, because like, okay, so you got the Nami deck, Lee Akshan,
X.
Pantheon? Pantheon, thank you. And then like, was there? I don't know, like Karma's was popular.
You can play. There's a lot of decks that can go into that third spot.
It just kind of falls off though. Like the playable decks are the decks people are kind of hot on or high on. Like I feel like you like start like you hit Swain, of course.
I think you have
and
a
then,
lot.
Like after like 5 decks, it kind of just like is
that's a lot. That's a lot of like tier 1 decks. You know what I mean?
Okay, but if you can't play Ionia, now you have like Swain and you have
Dark Donger. You can play
Dark
Karma
Donger
Lee.
was one
you have
that
Pantheon,
did really
Tarek Poppy. You can play Scouts, Red Gwen.
Yeah, so you got a couple like Demacia decks. Red Gwen, it's kind of hot. Yeah, but it's kind of
stuff. Okay, but there's a lot.
I'm honestly curious. Like I'm curious what people are gonna bring, because I feel like the Mastering of Runeterra tournament is definitely very skewed towards
hyper competitive players.
Highly competitive tournament players who are happy to play Ionia and Lee Sin and Nami. And so that's like, I don't think it's, I can't tell if that's a good sample size because everyone is getting a lot better. People are getting a lot better. That said, these are very difficult decks to play, and there's not been a lot of time to prepare. So I wonder, like, if people are falling back on Comfort, like, what was super popular last season? I guess like Kaisa's gone, Pirates is kind of gone. Like a lot of the stuff that was that Canon popular?
I mean it was. Yeah.
But sure. My baby.
Yeah.
Hurts.
Thinking like pre-patch before it got nerfed. It was like the most
at the beginning of the season it was, yeah.
Yeah. People are just gonna play whatever people are gonna play. There's gonna be a lot of Swain. People are really high on Nora Swain right now.
What does the Swain lineup look like?
It's like a third deck. I don't think you build around a Swain deck. People will, but
is there like okay.
You're giving people too much credit. People are gonna pick like 2 decks that they like and know how to play, and then they're gonna put a third deck in there.
Yeah, so you think there's gonna be like a lot of like randomness?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Nami, not as much as you think, right? Because there never is. It's gonna cap out at 35% of the open field, when it should be almost 100. And then there's gonna be a lot of other stuff.
Try to figure out what the other stuff is.
I just named a bunch.
All right, well, I guess
there's also people always bring Lurk. always. There's still gonna be pirates. MF Swain's gonna come when people want to try to counter Ionia.
Swain,
Yeah, like I think saying MF Swain's funny because it makes me sound like I'm saying motherfucking Swain.
I like it also.
Which would be a great deck name. Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff. People are just gonna play stuff. Like, have you played on ladder? No, you haven't. But if you were playing on ladder, you'd see a bunch of decks. People are just gonna bring all of those. That's always been the case.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it started to congeal a bit more in some formats or some seasons, but so that like I feel like there was a few seasons there where like it kind of like the best decks became known and they became played in higher and higher numbers, but there were also stuff that was like kind of easier to pilot, things like Kai'Sa, things like pirates.
Yeah. When Plunder's the best deck or whatever. Yeah.
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 I think back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling very prepared for the seasonals. I think my decks are insane. I played a lot. I'm sitting at like rank 3. I'm tied for rank 2 or something. I don't know, on ladder, which isn't indicative of like being prepared for a tournament, but like
no, but you're playing like maybe the 3 most powerful decks. You've played them a bunch. You've crushed with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because like those are the decks I played to get up there. You know what I mean? I didn't just play one deck. I played like my lineup basically. And that makes me feel very comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm feeling ready. I will be playing. So I'll be at TwitchCon. And I was just panicking because I haven't been able to like stream a seasonals that I could actually play in for like 4 seasonals.
Crazy.
I was gone. I was casting.
Gone again.
I was gone again. I played on my phone. And then there's this one. So I'm like, shit, I have to do it. I have to stream it. So I went and bought a laptop. It's sitting right there. I need to like install it. I'm going to be streaming it from TwitchCon on a laptop. Yeah. So like, dude, you might see like
hope your internet's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you should get backup on your phone or something.
A backup what? Oh, like stream thing?
Like have your like, can you share your Wi-Fi, like hotspot?
Yeah, I can hotspot it. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. But like worst case scenario, stream goes down, I play on my phone.
That's true.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna be streaming it then. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm hoping some of the other Runeterra people that are there on TwitchCon will swing by the Airbnb and like say what's up during the stream. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, because like Squeeby's in my Airbnb.
Yeah,
I know like Puffball Panda is gonna be close and everything, so I'm hoping like they just like, oh, what's up?
I'm sure that's gonna happen.
Yeah, as long as I'm still in it, because everyone's gonna be going to TwitchCon for the day.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to drop it. I'm gonna have to drop in your stream just to see it.
I probably won't even see people's comments or chat because it'll be one monitor, just the laptop.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like I'm gonna be like taking pictures of people's deck lists and then like putting it on my phone, or I could do chat on the phone. Well, I don't read chat during seasonals. I read chat after the games. So I'll like what I like to do is I'll play the game, and then I go back to my stream manager on my computer, like while I have me on a break or something, and I'll just watch everyone else watch it. I like to see people's reaction in for them real time. It's just fun. Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I might do that still.
Yeah, especially when the stakes are so high. Okay, so you're third on the ladder, so you should be locked up for Worlds.
Absolutely locked. Termint posted an Excel sheet with like expected Worlds points for like ranked ladder, and I'm number 1. So,
dude, I hate having to sweat out one more seasonals.
That's why I told everybody like 4 seasons ago. I was like, bro, I'm just gonna get there on rank points. It's so easy. I was like, I don't gotta worry about it at all. Yeah, all I have to do is like put in the time on ladder.
You guys are animals. I say that I don't have the time, but that's like, we all say that about everything. Like, I'm so busy, I don't have the time. But it's like, if it's important enough to you, you'll make the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was jamming games mid set at the gym. Like, you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I can either like actually grind ladder, or I can cut out the gym, or I could go to the gym. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do both. Like, I don't want to cut either of these out of my life. They're both important. So I'm like, I'm like hitting bench, bam, bam, and then I hear like the sound bite of like Lee Sin being played, and I'm like, okay, they played Lee. What am I gonna do? Rack it, be like, yeah, concerted strike.
Dude, that's so funny.
See what they do. They make a play, set it down, hit my next set while I think about my play. Yeah.
I'm chilling at 35th on the ladder currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to be in the top 40. I'm so nervous of like actually playing.
Yeah, because you lose a game and you drop.
Yeah. Then I just go on like a fucking spiral of playing infinite games, and
I hate camping because then I'm not prepared for seasonals because I don't
exactly.
Scrim.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I tell everyone to scrim. I'm like, you should scrim. It's great practice.
Scrim.
And then I just don't do it. It is. I think it is, but like I've always been that way. Or like
I just don't like playing for nothing.
Yeah. Me neither.
I want stakes, god damn it.
Yep.
Dude, best of 3 ladder is gonna be a fucking game changer. Oh, are we able to tell people that that's coming?
Is it coming? You wish. Are you trying to manifest it? Yeah.
Please. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
So, yeah, didn't do much scrimming, but I feel very prepared on ladder. Anytime I have to like camp for like 2 weeks, I'm not prepared, so I usually just don't. Like I said I was camping at like 6th, and then I dropped down to like 11th, and I was like, fuck it. I just started playing more. And I feel more
it's almost
prepared because of it. Yeah, I was like, thank God. Because I just want to play. I love playing. I love hitting top of ladder and playing because then every game does matter. Oh my God, hiccups. Every game does matter. And like, it's just so much more fun. I hate playing on my screen because like, I don't care. These games don't matter to me. You know, it sucks. It's so boring.
I've been playing on my Smurf to try and get some games in. I'm like gold. Opponents are just playing like random brews. Yeah. Sometimes I lose to them.
Yeah, that happens.
It's not a good time. Every season I'm like, I gotta take it more seriously. Like slowly.
Yeah. I took the season seriously. And I feel good for it. Watch me like 4-3 and then drop, but whatever.
Not gonna
had to have it eventually. Yeah, I feel good. I think the only thing I ever prepared for more was like the seasonals that I won, and then Worlds qualifying rounds.
Ton for that seasonal.
I prepared so much, and then the Worlds qualifying rounds. I was so prepared for that.
Are you? Do you have any idea what you're going to do, assuming that you're qualified for Worlds? What you're going to do for the open rounds?
No, because there's going to be a Worlds balance patch.
So I meant like in your life. Like, are you going to like cut down streaming? Are you going to like pause? Are you going to try and bank a bunch of YouTube videos or?
I'll do what I can, but I'm just going to do the same thing I've been doing, jamming games. I'll try to get some scrims in and stuff, even though I normally don't do that. But I can do that on stream too. I can be like, Mr. What Am I? Do you want to jam some scrims? Or whatever. For like an hour on stream. The problem is like, I really can't like just stop things. I can't stop streaming. I can't stop doing YouTube videos because then I can't pay bills. Right? That's like, not only that, but you like lose relevancy. You understand this, right? Like you stop posting things, people stop watching you. Yeah. Content is incredibly momentum based. You just lose relevancy. And people say that they're like, oh no, I'll be here for you. Like when you come back. It's like, it's like, that's just not
all of you though.
Yeah. Not all of you. And like, I felt that because like I've had some of my favorite creators be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be gone for like a week. And I'll be like, oh, well, I'll just watch their shit when they get back. Like, no big deal. Why are they making a big deal of this? And then I just don't.
They're gone.
Yeah, I just never watched them again.
Yeah.
And I find out a year later, I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot about this guy. Right? So like that happens. And that's scary when it's your, like, that's how I make my money. It's my livelihood. So I won't be like completely turning off content or anything, but I am very excited to play in Worlds again. And I'm planning on going pretty hard for it.
Yeah, I like missed out by like 2 fucking matches last year. I was so fucking pissed. There was like a million things I could have done differently to like, make it different. And so I don't qualify yet this year, but like I very much would like to play in it. Seems like a thing that would be very fun and enjoyable. It's gotta say though, like,
bro.
Yeah, working on it. Seeing the list of players though that are like qualified or that will be qualified, it's like, geez, it's literally just murderers row.
Yeah. That someone asked me about that the other day. They're like, "Do you get anxious?" I don't know if it was specifically towards me, but it was asked to the group or whatever. People were like, "Do you get anxious looking at like the people qualified for Worlds and stuff? It's just like all killers." I'm like, "No, not really. Like, you got to be a killer of killers. I'm here to win Worlds. What do you think? I'm like not prepared to beat all these people? You know what I mean? Like, do you think in my head that I'm not capable of winning? Because then why would I show up? I'm not here to show up to Worlds and then lose. I'm here to win, right?
Yeah, my thinking more is that like a lot of them are such good brewers. That's like the thing that really like gets me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna be tough. Also, like,
it'd be fun.
I wonder how many from our team will qualify, because it gets really awkward. Like we all work together quite a bit in the open rounds for seasonals, and all of a sudden, like 6 of us make the top cut, and it's kind of like, maybe like I'll just practice like one guy, just like one. Everyone kind of like splits off, you know. Especially like nobody knows what the bracket's gonna be, and like when everyone's gonna like play against each other and stuff.
I wasn't there for that part because I was in Disneyland. But like, I don't know. I'm super open with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like, if me and my boy in his top 16, bro, bet we are showing up with the best list. You know, like I will make my chances worse by giving you the best tech if I think it's going to get me the best practice. Like we're in it together. You know, I don't know. I've never been any kind of like a backstabby or not even backstabby.
I meant like the top 32 of seasonal specifically, because like you don't know if it's like, oh hey, we're playing the first round, and it's like fucking weird that you're like,
yeah, I guess
preparing.
That happened with like Kever and I were on like the same side of the bracket as the seasonals I won, and then we were like no,
whatever. Yeah, you end up playing against each other. Yeah,
we almost did.
Yeah,
but like I want both of us to show up as prepared as possible. And if you beat me, you beat me. That's fine. I don't care. Like if I was testing with someone, let's say like, you know, Aikedo because he's slimy. I'm just kidding.
Well known, landmark hating, slimy Aikedo.
And it's like round 1, we end up paired against each other, but we didn't know. So we're practicing a bunch. And we decided on a lineup, and then like he just rug pulls me like the morning of and registers a counter lineup. I'd feel so betrayed. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Would you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you have a gentleman's agreement to lock in your lineup.
You could change.
Yeah. You could change your lineup too.
Yeah, but would you? Okay, so we're playing round 1, and we've been practicing this whole time, but we don't know that we're playing round 1, and we decide on what we think the best lineup is, and then we go to bed. We're like, "Yep, this is the lineup." And then the morning of, you know, like bracket post, and without saying anything, you switch to directly a counter lineup just to beat me. That's fucked up. If you want to change your lineup, that's fine, right? But like, if you do it with the intent of beating me because you know what I'm on, just to gain an edge, like that's messed up.
I think the big difference is, I think there's a difference. What do you think of this? What if Aikedo won seasonals, or if Aikedo beat you and then just lost the top 16?
No difference.
There's no difference.
No.
I think like if you like change the lineup, or just like, I gotta get through my first round opponent because people do that all the fucking time, and then but if they did it just to like, boom, beat you, but it's like you didn't have a fucking chance against the rest of the field, because people do that shit too. They shoot themselves in the foot.
I think that's
they go overboard trying to beat their first round opponent, and then it was just like, you idiot! Like, I don't know, you just fucked us both basically.
Yeah,
But if they win it, if they win it, like I'm like, fuck, they won it. Like you fucking won it. Like you did it.
No, I'd still be like, that's.
What if they change one deck?
No, that's fine. But like, I'm talking like, clearly they're here to beat
full counter.
You know what I mean? Like they're going, okay, I can guarantee a win against my first round opponent if I throw him under the bus. I'd be like, fuck.
I mean, let's be real though. Like if you and I tested together or not tested together, and then we got paired in the first round, you know what you're playing. Like I bet you, everyone knows what you're on. Like, hey, is there a good Lee deck? Is there a good Nami deck? Is there a good Ari deck? Guess what Majiin's gonna play.
And if you're like, I'm gonna bring a counter lineup, or like I would like to bring a counter lineup, that's totally fine. But if you like bait and switch me just to get an edge on me, that's the thing. It's like if you think that showing up with like a counter Lee lineup is like your ticket to victory, and you know I'm bringing Lee, that's totally fine. But it's like the dishonesty. This is not happening to me, by the way.
What I'm saying is that if the bracket comes out, that can change your perception of what the best lineup is.
Sure, I guess.
Like,
yeah.
If everyone in your side of the bracket is a fucking Ionia loving fucking pink in the heart, and you happen to go like, oh, hey, guess what? It's just fucking you and Kever and every other Ionia loving player. And I'm like, and someone's going to go anti-Ionia. Like, I feel like that changes the dynamic. I think if they use the information against you, if you like tested and you like gave them your fucking tech and were like, yo, I've got this like fucking extra deck or something that's super hot, and then they use that shit against you, that's fucked up.
That's what I mean.
Super fucked up.
In Flesh and Blood, something happened where there was a very popular team that was testing with a bunch of other very, very, very top players, and they had settled weeks before to play this super rogue list that no one knew about that was very strong into the field, but only if other people didn't know about it. And so for like the 2-3 weeks leading up to the Pro Tour, they didn't tell any of their other team members. And so none of them registered the deck or even knew that it existed until they told them like the night before, and they pretended like they had just found it. And just kind of like, that's fucked up, right?
So like, fucked up.
It's the dishonesty part, right? Like when I work together with someone, we're in it together. Like I don't care if I'm making my chance worse, if I make our chance better. You know what I mean? Like that's the important part. So that's where the problem comes in. If you're trying to like pull one over on me, that's what sucks. I don't care if you're playing what beats me. I care that you tried to pull one over on me. That you tried to push me down to elevate yourself.
I was saying if there was no new information that came out, then it's like all's fair. Like who fucking cares?
Yeah, no.
But but if there's any sort of like useful information that's been given that was then used against you, okay, no, that's super fucked. That's crazy in Flesh and Blood. What was the fallout?
There was a fallout behind closed doors, and then they ended up working together again.
Huh.
Some of them ended up working together again.
Yeah. How big is this team?
A couple people, like 3. And then there was a greater conglomerate of like 10 people working together.
Okay. So how many people knew about the deck? 3 people knew about the deck.
They're a team.
They are a team.
A group that was playing together, and they were all testing together for like the duration of the event.
Okay.
So the 3 people kept it and didn't tell anybody and didn't test it with the other people. They just like never mentioned it, even though they knew that's what they were going to be playing. And they didn't tell anybody because they thought they found the secret sauce, which they did.
Oh. Interesting.
That's
so much drama.
It was kind of crazy to hear about. It was kind of crazy.
Was this in France or where was this?
No, it was in the first Pro Tour.
The first Pro Tour.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Now, like, I obviously wasn't there. I wasn't on the inside. So, like, what the public perceives may have been wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. I've talked to people involved.
Stuff like that in Magic was very common. Like, people kept everything close to the vest because having, like, secret tech was, like, the shit. Like, you got a huge edge. You got a massive edge if you fucking knew something other people didn't.
Yep. But like,
nice that Runeterra doesn't have that.
I'm just not that kind of person. Like, we're boys, and if we're like going into a tournament together, top 16 of Worlds or whatever, and we're both in it, I would never hide what I thought the best deck was from you. I would tell you. I'd bring you in on it immediately.
Yeah.
But that's just like the kind of person I am. And so if someone did that to me, I would be crushed. Like, I would just probably not ever talk to them again. Just be like, I'm not interested in being friends with you.
No, 100%. Like, if you're in it, you're supposed to be in together. It's the whole point of being a team.
Exactly. Like, how can I ever trust you to not like throw me under the bus or whatever? Or like, this is completely not relevant to seasonals. This is gonna happen now. Rambled. Yeah,
I'll see you round 1. Okay, you know what? Let's do we haven't done this in a while. Let's do our tips for people going to their seasonals. I'm sure some people, it's maybe their first seasonals, maybe one of their first seasonals. There's lots of common questions that we always get asked. Things like, sleep, exercise, tips to do,
those things.
mental stuff. So one, get a bunch of sleep. Super important. Do whatever you need to do. It's a fucking marathon. Your brain does have only so much fucking juice in it and like so much power, and it will be strained. It is a marathon. And this also goes to like picking your decks. If the better you know your deck, the less you're really gonna have to stress yourself making decisions. A lot of it's just going to be like muscle memory, and then on the moments that also your timer, this affects also, right, with the clock, that you can just push through turns. And then when you do need time to think, then you can use the brain power and use the clock. So get a lot of sleep, really important. Hydrate, really important. Eat well. Try not to eat like, fucking turkey or like a bunch of pasta, things that are really heavy. Get a little bit of exercise.
Heavy? I thought turkey was like super light meat.
Well, the turkey makes you go to sleep.
Really? I don't really.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. You go Thanksgiving, eat the turkey. It actually has like a chemical or an enzyme or something in it that like makes you sleepy, I think. Anyways, try to eat things that make you groggy. At any rate, towards the end of the day, like around 7, 8, 9, like I start crashing because I probably had some caffeine, probably some coffee, probably had some Red Bull or something. And like I'm just trying to get whatever I can into me to like kind of keep me going sometimes. You like to work out, right?
I do. I like to go to the gym beforehand, get my blood going, get my confidence up.
Yeah, it also, there's like a whole like, brain body fucking thing that like happens that you should, one, get your body moving, gets you alert and up and going. And two, if you exhaust your body, that lets your mind like sort of like take over and take control. You're not like fidgety, gets rid of your anxiety, all that stuff. Play one game before seasonals.
I like to play one game of each deck. No more than that.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, you don't want to overtax yourself. But like getting that muscle memory going, get your brain flowing. Typically fuck up the first game of a day. Always. Not like quite there. I'm on autopilot. Let's see, what are some other common ones? Copy your opponent's decks.
Yeah. Screenshot them. I like to use the program ShareX. Lets me basically like it's like clipping tool kind of, and then just have that up on my other monitor. So I just have my opponent's decks. So I just like constantly am. You'll see me do this a lot when I'm playing seasonals. I'll just like look on my other monitor. It's just me reading my opponent's deck list like over and over and over again.
Yeah, I have a little ritual where I clear them out of my like saved folder and like get ready for like the next
round. It's like purging. Match. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's over with. Next round.
Mm-hmm. That's which is another good topic. Things like tilt. People will make a mistake in a game or lose a game, and they'll let it continue to affect them. They can't shake it off. Really important. Do whatever you need to in between rounds. One, just in general, in between rounds, get up, walk around, go outside, touch some grass. Do something that makes you feel good. You'll get a lot of anxiety often. Like, think of some things that make you happy. Think of I like to think about like my family and my life and things that are good in it. And I also like to, especially after a hard loss, I've done this a few times. I go outside, I sit down, I take a breath, and then I like ask myself, like, am I having fun? Like, am I enjoying this? And most of the time, the answer is always, yeah. You know what? I wanted to be here. I wanted to be competing against the best. I want to be testing myself. I wanted to fucking, try to go for gold. Like, that's why I'm here. I could be doing a bunch of other fucking things on my Saturday afternoon. I'm choosing to be here. I want to do this. Let's go in there. Let's fucking fight. It like gets me like back in the right mindset. That really helps me. Do you have any other like mental health things in between round things? Things you do in between round?
Like getting up and moving around is always good. Take a break. Like you'll get a break. You'll be like, oh, I have 20 minutes. Instead of like sitting there and watching coverage, just like go lay down.
Yeah,
walk around.
I like check in with myself a lot. I don't know if you do this, like kind of like mentally and physically. Like, how am I doing? Am I hungry? Am I dehydrated? Like, kind of just trying to keep just nice baseline. Just keep everything right in the middle.
I try to
you
do
know, if
that,
I'm hungry. Yeah, a little snack, a little something. If I'm like, I try to keep like in the zone. And so if I'm like a little bored or like I need a little entertainment or something to distract myself a little bit, okay, I'll watch a little coverage. I'll watch a little stream. And then as soon as I'm over that and I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's like stressing me out a bit or like something else or I'm getting distracted. I'm like, okay, no, fuck, get away. Like sit for myself again, look over my deck lists again, think about my game plans and stuff. Just try to keep in the zone. Very important.
I find it more difficult to do that now, like because I stream with camera on and everything,
Yeah.
and do commentary. So that's difficult because like you don't want to just
Super
completely
hard.
like leave the stream every round. Right? Be like, all right, my
Yeah.
round's over. See you guys in 35 minutes. But I do that a lot because it's the most fatiguing part.
Crazy that you're able to do as well as you do, and you're like streaming and doing commentary, which makes it all that much harder. Like I went
That's the
from
hardest part.
full streaming to streaming without my cam to just not fucking streaming at all. Fucking nope. I'm just like done with it. Like I want to do well. I'm just gonna concentrate on that. No one gives a fuck. Who cares?
Yep. All right, I gotta head out. Good luck.
All right.
This season with everybody. It's Saturday. If you want to watch it, check it out on Twitch.
Yeah, if you're at
That's all I
TwitchCon, go hit up Majin. He'll be around.
I'll be there. I'm the
We'll
one
see
with
you
the long hair.
guys. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully with some Worlds qualifications in tow, and who knows, maybe
I already got
$10,000.
mine. I'm good to go.
All right, for fuck's sake. Peace.